Today, we're going to be doing a 14-minute long Pilates Mat Class focused on Diastasis Recti. This is geared towards postnatal, but many people can get Diastasis Recti, which is separation along the linea alba, or your six-pack muscle. Today, we're going to be using a soft ball. It's kind of a medium size, but you don't need it right away because we're just going to start. We're going to draw the flesh out from underneath our sit bones so we can really feel our sit bones grounding into the floor. And we're going to place our hands on our ribs, fingertips towards the front, thumbs in the back. And we're just going to start to engage the pelvic floor, which will feel like a Kegel for women and jumping into cold water for a man. And we're just going to start with that three-dimensional breath. So I'm zipping up from underneath as I draw the transverse, or those deep layer abdominals in, not pushing them out like this, but really pulling up like it's a hammock, holding my internal organs, staying nice and flat as I start that gorgeous long spine, wrapping torso, and three-dimensional breath as I inhale through my nose and exhale through my mouth, deepening that connection. You'll feel your sit bones kind of draw together without squeezing your glutes. Relax the shoulders, and again, inhale. Breathing slowly, finding that long spine. So diastasis is the herniation. Either can be at the navel, below the navel, or above the navel, or all the way from the sternum down to the pubic bone. So you really want to feel that transverse wrapping around your torso, trying to find that nice long spine. So take this as you need it, where you can use your hands to approximate the abs, and we're going to exhale, squeeze in and hold for a count of 5, 4 more, 3 more, 2 more, and gently release. We're going to do that one more time. We're going to draw those abs in, approximate, and again, exhale. Approximate means merely to align the abdominals so that they're all kind of gathered together evenly. All right, that was a good one. We did 2 of those big ones. Now we're going to turn our hands away from us. We're going to open up the chest, draw the shoulder blades down. Try not to lift them up when we lift our arms, but you want to engage down through the shoulder blades as the arms lift. So feeling them kind of almost anchor all the way down the back, turning the palms back. We're going to reach our arms up as we inhale, exhale, draw them right back and down. Inhale, exhale. And again, we're still focusing on engaging that transverse, supporting our spine with our abdominals. Exhale. And you're almost pushing against a wall, almost like you're pushing into a wall, an invisible wall beside you, or through something with high viscosity. I feel this really working down here into my rhomboids, those little kind of like little butterfly muscles that hold my shoulder blades together or retract my shoulder blades. And again, reaching up. And exhale, drawing down. And I almost feel an active stretch across the chest. And by almost, I mean, I do feel it. Draw the core in still, feeling that pelvic floor, feeling that Kegel. Again, reaching up and down, dropping the shoulders away from the neck. You can see my ribs are a little bit flared, and that's okay. But you really don't want to flare them too much because we're still really trying to find that nice approximation and abdominal connection. So you're really feeling that big stretch in the chest and deep engagement. Try not to pop too much. Still keep those abs nice and strong. We're going to bring our fingertips by our ears, drawing our elbows back. And it's like you're trying to feel a little bit more stretch across the chest and engage more deeply again in that upper back and those rhomboids. Exhale. And I'm really drawing that in, feeling that engagement down the spine, still zipping up from underneath as I again press back. And again, hold, exhale, press back. Really deep connection here, really Kegeling the pelvic floor. Exhale, press back. Feeling that nice strong core. Lengthening the spine so it has that nice, beautiful, natural double S curve. So we're in neutral, but we're in a super engaged neutral, super engaged upper back. And now we're going to start to draw our ribs to one side. Slight flexion and recover. And I'm trying to almost tuck my rib in and draw my top elbow slightly back and open. So I get a little bit of a stretch. Now, it's not a big movement. If you're struggling with approximating your abs, or you'll find like your abdominals are kind of maybe making a bit of a triangle shape or pushing outwards, just keep the pulsing backwards of the elbows. Pressing. Exhale. Lengthen. Exhale. You'll feel that length on one side and that contraction on the other. And I'm really trying to find that gorgeous long spine, that gorgeous deep engagement from underneath. Now, most of the times people find a little bit of herniation around the abdominals or diastasis after pregnancy, but there's all kinds of reasons. Some weightlifters even get it from just pushing outwards with their abdominals while lifting extremely heavy weights. So, it can happen to almost anyone, no matter your fitness level. Exhale, inhale. Draw those nice big arms back, finding that nice big stretch, holding it, opening that chest, feeling those upper back muscles really engage, feeling that beautiful long open sternum, and release. That should feel a little bit more open. Alrighty, we're going to go ahead and grab that ball, and we're going to come back to kind of placing it between our bra strap. Now, we're in a neutral spine. So our ribs are not like kind of folded under, because in diastasis recti, if you're not really wanting to do flexion of the spine, because it's going to irritate that little herniation. So we're coming from extension to neutral, folding our ribs flat, but not folding like we're doing a sit-up. So we're going from extension, opening the chest, and exhale just to neutral, flattening the body. And again, I'm still keeping that nice Kegel. You can kind of watch that I'm not folding my rib cage. I'm just coming up, and then I'm almost tightening here and lifting, wrapping the abdominals, but not creating that flexion. It's a zipping up. And again, inhale, open. You can see I'm really using my low abs to support my torso, and I'm really using my upper abs. And exhale to flatten them and draw my ribs together, like I'm knitting my floating ribs together. Nice small exhale, not a big flexion. If you start to see any sort of like softness or almost bulging in the abs, it's not a fold, it's a tightening. So you want to think about maybe decreasing the amount of flexion that you're giving if you feel any kind of bulging. And we're just going to hold it, drawing the abs in as you find that deep connection. Slow exhale, and then inhale. Take a nice big stretch, opening up that sternum. Exhale, coming right back up. Now, I'm really going to focus on this next one from keeping my hips nice from still, not from wobbling. And if this is ever too much, you can always just lift just the heel instead of the leg, and then float the leg down. And this is on an exhale. Exhale, lift the other leg. And right back down. You can always just barely lift the heel. And right back down, but I definitely feel a little bit of a burn here. Nice strong core. And exhale. Nice and strong. You can see I am just getting already pretty warm. Exhale all the way. Now again, you can always just lift the heel and not lift the foot all the way up off the ground or even to tabletop. The focus is to really focus on the abdominal connection, and that you're really working that nice strong body. Beautiful. Exhaling. You can see I'm really trying to lift from the femur or the large leg bone and not just extend by kicking the leg up. So there's no momentum ever used. So I'm really focusing on that core knitting itself together. You want to make sure that you're staying nice and neutral, and you're not coming into flexion, and you're not just kicking your knee, but you're pressing it, almost like you're pressing into something with a high viscosity. I lift from underneath and right back down. Now, if this is ever too much, you can always get rid of the ball and just lay on the ground and just practice lifting one heel and then the other. Take this class as you need it. Everybody's going to be different, and everybody's going to just sort of feel this in their own way, especially depending on your herniation. So take this as is appropriate for you. We're going to take a nice big stretch again, letting the elbows open, feeling that nice gorgeous release through the upper body. Now, for this next exercise, you can keep with just doing the flexion of the upper body, coming to neutral, or just lifting the legs like that. Otherwise, you can put it together, and you're going to lift the leg as you come up into that neutral spine. And again, exhale. We're shifting, switching sides. So we're really focusing again on keeping those hips nice and still. Exhale, find your flexion. Inhale, open. And again, I'm only coming to a flat position. I'm not coming to a flexed position. We want to try to heal the herniation. We don't want to try to irritate. Doing sit-ups where you're kind of just coming into a full flexed position can kind of irritate the hernia and actually can increase the size. So it's that knitting together, that kind of tightening of the pelvic floor, tightening of the abs. You can always just hold the flexion and just lift one leg at a time, or you can add them together, just keeping that nice fluid movement. Again, keeping the abs nice and flat. And you can see I keep on bringing my hand down, just double checking. And that's totally fine. bring your hands, use them as much as appropriate for you. You can see I'm getting a little shaky already. It's actually quite challenging on the ball. You can always use that towel, rolled up towel instead of a ball, or you can just lift the legs, keeping the torso completely flat on the floor without lifting or lowering your head. It's really important that we're only coming to neutral and that we're not coming into flexion. You can see I don't really come very far. I'm just going to luxuriate in that extension, which feels so lovely. We're going to roll to our side to come on up. Try not to sit up into flexion. Again, that kind of irritates the herniation. And you're just going to come, and we're going to just pop that ball kind of out of the way. We're going to come right away onto all fours. Now, we really want to stay nice and strong. Again, drawing the abs together, and we're squeezing in, drawing the shoulder blades down. So we're not letting our shoulders sag, and we're not letting our elbows kind of hyperextend. We're keeping everything nice and soft. Shoulder blades, like you're holding a lemon wedge under your armpit. We're just going to start pushing into the floor, drawing the abs in. Now, if this is as much as you want to do, that is totally fine. We're just going to hold it, exhaling, holding it, squeezing those armpits, keeping that nice connection. And at any point, if that's too much, you just can take a little bit of a release. But otherwise, we're going to really squeeze those armpits. And if you want, you can always float the knees up off the floor. Now, if that is too much for you, do not do it. Float the knees down and take a little extension of the spine. Feeling that nice connection, opening up the sternum. And again, right back, you're going to push into the floor, drawing those armpits down. As you exhale, float it up. Now again, if this is too much for you, keep your knees on the floor and just push into the floor as hard as you can. The floor is not going to go anywhere, so you're going to feel a big workout both in the upper body and in those abdominals. As you really find that nice push down into the floor, exhaling, deepening that core muscles, and beautiful. Come to those little fingertips and inhale, find that gorgeous extension through the spine. And that should just feel really nice. I just absolutely love a little bit of a release. We're going to do one more. Again, take this as you need it. I'm really drawing my abs in, flattening out the pelvis. I am not trying to lift from my booty. I'm trying to lift from my ribs. As I tighten again, approximating. You can always use your hands to approximate your abs at the beginning to kind of feel that, so that you feel that kind of the linea elbow or that kind of fascia that runs down your six pack connecting together. Now we're going to take one hand to the middle. We're going to take our right hand to the middle. My left hand is against my ear, and I'm kind of pushing against the floor. And it's going to give me a little bit of rotation as I open my sternum, and then I'm going to exhale back to center. And again, inhale, rotate for 2, and back to center. And I'm really pushing into the floor without hyperextending my elbows for 3, and back to center, really using those low abs. And 4, we're going to hold it. Very, very nice. And back to center, floating that hand down and right away to the other side. Again, soft elbow, try to keep the shoulder really engaged. As you inhale, rotate open, and exhale right back to center. And again, inhale, rotate, shoulders down, opening, and right back to center. And again, inhale, rotate, exhale, back to center. And again, this time we're going to inhale, rotate, and hold for 4, opening, 3, 2, feel that stretch, opening, pushing to the floor, and back to center, and release. One more time, you can come up onto those fingertips if your wrists are tired, and take one more nice, beautiful extension of the spine, opening up that chest, feeling that little, I'm not sinking in my back, I'm still using my low abs, but I'm just getting that nice little stretch. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to swizzle on around. So we're going to do just a gentle little bit of a stretch. So I'm crisscrossing one leg in front of the other, and I'm going to just lean forward, and I'm going to get that nice stretch into my hip. You can kind of feel it coming all the way around into your hip as you lean gently forward. And I'm trying not to round through my back, but stay nice and flat. So I'm having that beautiful long spine as I just breathe. And again, I'm still trying to use that pelvic floor and those low abs to kind of support my spine. We're going to switch other side, gentle stretch. Feeling that gorgeous long spine. It should feel really good. And go ahead and come on up. And I'm just going to go ahead and roll my shoulders for 3, 2, still staying strong in those core muscles, and 1. Just feeling that nice release through the body. I hope that this helped and you were able to feel those core muscles engaging. Hopefully I'll see you again. You can always visit me on my website for more information.